Good morning, sir. I am Joy Panganuron and I'm here to discuss to you about the School of Linguistics and major branches of linguistics.
The first one is functionalism. Functionalism, this first school of thought, focuses on how language is actually used in everyday life. Those who abide by functionalism look at language as just one another tool of humans to use, and thus tend to focus on the function language and its different parts have in our life. The theories of functionalism focus on phonological, semantic, syntactic, as well as the pragmatic functions of language. Then, the second one is structuralism. Based on the work of Ferdinand de Saussure of Switzerland, structuralism is an approach to linguistics that focuses on the many different units that connect with each other. This school of thought marked a shift from historical linguistic analysis to non-historical analysis. Later on, other linguistics would come to see structuralism as rather out of date. Its work for phonology and morphology. But the theories it phrases don't make as much sense as the ones proposed by new schools of thought. And the third one is generativism. The work of Noam Chomsky became the basis for the generativism approach to linguistics. It was originally a way to explain how humans acquired language in the first place. How humans acquired language. But soon, it came to be used to explain the different phenomena that occur in all natural languages. The generative theory of language suggests that, and its most basic form, language is made up of certain rules that apply to all humans and all language. This led to the theory of universal grammar, that all humans are capable of learning grammar. And the last one is cognitivism. The last linguistic school of thought on our list emerged in the 1950s as a reaction to generativism. In basic terms, cognitivism says that language emerged from human cognitive process. It challenges universal grammar by suggesting that grammar is not something that all humans and inherently understand, but rather than it is learned by using language. Next is major branches of linguistics. Linguistics is the scientific study of natural language. Someone who engages in this study is called a linguist. Language in general and language in particular can be studied from different points of view. The field of linguistics as a whole can be divided into several subfields according to the point of view that is adopted. The first distinction, general linguistics. General linguistics include two examples, which is studying language in general, supplies the concepts and categories in terms of which particular language are to be analyzed. Next, descriptive linguistics. Studying particular languages provides the data which confirm or refute the propositions and theories put forward in general linguistics. Then, the next one is diachronic historical linguistics. traces the historical development of the language and records the changes that have taken place in it between successive points in time. Diachronic is equivalent to historical. First, of particular interest to linguistics throughout the 19th century. Then, the synchronic linguistics, non-historical, presence and account of the language as it is at some particular points of time. Then, next is the third distinction. The third distinction include theoretical linguistics. The first one is studies languages and languages with a view to constructing a theory of their structure and functions and without regard to any practical applications that the investigation of language and language might have. The goal is formulation of a satisfactory theory of the structure of language in general. Next is applied linguistics. Application of the concepts and findings of linguistics to a variety of practical tasks, including language teaching. Second is concerned with both the general and descriptive branches of the subject. The fourth distinction is microlinguistics. It adopts the narrower view, concerned solely with the structures of the language system in itself and for itself. Next is macrolinguistics. Macrolinguistics adopts the broader view, concerned with the way languages are acquired, stored in the brain, and used for various functions, interdependence of language and culture, physiological and psychological mechanisms involved in language behavior. The fourth distinction is microlinguistics. The first one is phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and the last is pragmatics.
Phonetics. Phonetics, the study of the physical properties of speech, sound, production, and perception. Next is phonology, the study of sounds, of abstract elements in the speaker's mind that distinguish meaning. Next is morphology. Morphology, the study of morphemes or the internal structures of words and how they can be modified. Next, syntax. Syntax is the study of how words combine to form grammatical phrases and sentences. Next, semantics, the study of lexical and grammatical aspects of meaning. The last but not the least, the pragmatics, the study of how utterances and use and communicate acts. And that would be all.